Yakima County has agreed to pay 30% more this year for inmate health care at the county jail for a total of $3.7 million. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us some are raising concerns about the company behind that care.
WellPath, formerly known as Correct Care Solutions, is one of the largest healthcare providers for jails and prisons across the country, but it's also one of the most controversial. At least 6 people have died in the Yakima County Jail over the past 2 years. The county facing a $50 million claim by a family who says their loved one, Hian Hua, died from a heart attack while in the jail's custody after being beaten by corrections officers. Attorney Timothy Hall, whose law firm filed that claim, says healthcare for inmates is a big concern.
For somebody who's having mental health issues, I think that the risk for harm is much greater there, and it's a serious issue at the Yakima County Jail.
Its healthcare provider, WellPath, filing for bankruptcy and facing about 1,400 lawsuits from inmates and their families across the country, including some for wrongful death.
And that's a pretty significant number of lawsuits, and a lot of them with the same allegations, of substandard care. So certainly a big concern with the county paying as much money as they are out per year. What are you actually getting for that money?
According to the contract, WellPath staffs the Yakima County Jail with a health services administrator, nurse practitioner, nursing director, EMT, admin assistant, medical director, registered nurses, and licensed practical nurses for a full-time equivalent of about 15 staff. The cost, over $3.7 million, up $840,000 from last year.
We saw a 30% increase in 1 year. You might say, well, that's a huge increase. Well, yeah, it's a huge increase.
Jails legally required to provide health care, most contracting with third parties.
Some counties have taken a look at doing it in-house, meaning that you actually are employing doctors and nurses that are county paid employees. Not many do that, but I've been looking closely at the counties that are to see, is there cost savings that are had by doing it in-house.
The county signed a contract with WellPath in 2022, allowing an annual renewal up to 9 years.
We went out and did an RFP, a request for proposals, which you have to do for contracts of this magnitude. And when we went through that process in 2022, it was an extensive process. We only had one applicant apply, which was WellPath.
County commissioners say when it comes to the care WellPath provides to the Yakima County Jail,
we find that they're a great partner in helping us to really keep these folks safe while they're in our care as much as we can. We have recently received a glowing assessment from the State Association for the work of our Department of Corrections because they have followed such a stringent path of reviewing protocols and proving out those protocols and having an accreditation.
When it comes to WellPath's bankruptcy,
as I understand, the particular line of business that WellPath offers to correction facilities like ours isn't being impacted in the bankruptcy, but that's all I'm probably able to say.
And when it comes to the lawsuits filed against WellPath,
I don't think there's any concerns, at least on my end, but I do think it's the harsh reality of the costs that are incurred in the jail setting because of these deaths, right? So someone's got to take on that liability. And so as a result, that liability is coming to the county in the cost of service. So part of that 30% increase that we saw is the liability that WellPath is being put on the line because of these deaths that are occurring.
County commissioners approved that contract renewal at a meeting earlier this week, and it'll be in effect for the next year. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.